Which fiber art is more yarn hungry? Grab your favorite drink and possibly your craft project that you're working on, and let's find out. If you've seen my last video, you know that I have given myself the challenge of using 20,000 yards of yarn from my personal stash in the year 2023. I also shared some knit and crochet patterns that I intend on using to help me achieve this goal. That then got me thinking, which fiber art takes more yarn to make the fabric? I personally think it's crochet. A lot of my friends and family think that it is knit. So I have devised a plan to test this theory and see which one is in fact more yarn hungry. So to me, yarn hungry is which one wants to eat the most yarn or uses the most yarn yards in order to create. To test this, I am going to use loops and threads, impeccable. And this one calls for a 5mm hook or needles, depending on your fiber art that you are doing. So I have my 5mm regular crochet hook. I have my 5mm knitting, circular knitting needles. And I also have a 5mm Tunisian crochet hook. So without further ado, let me get working. Let me explain my process that I am planning on using to do this. I am going to be doing a 10x10 swatch each of the garter stitch and the stocking knit stitch in knitting, as well as a 10x10 of a simple Tunisian crochet stitch, single crochet stitch, and double crochet. And then when those are all worked up, I am going to be using my shipping scale in order to weigh each square. With that, I can take the weight, do some math as far as the amount of weight for the skein and the amount of yardage that is in the skein to come up with how many yards each square took. I have the 10x10 single crochet done. Now I'm going to go on to the double crochet. The double crochet swatch done. Time to move on to the Tunisian crochet. Tunisian crochet swatch finished. I am kind of running out of yarn on this skein. So this one was True Gray, but I am picking up another skein of the Loops and Threads Impeccable. This one is called Pale Gray, so that I can use this one for the knit because I do not want to run out in the middle of my swatch. I would rather not have the yarns played with or having to tie in a different I do not want to skew this by having to change from one ball to another. So when I come back, I am going to be working on the knit in the Pale Gray. For now, I am going to take a break and have some dinner because the smell of my dinner is just so playing with me. It smells delicious and I'm getting hungry. So I will be back with the knit. Done with the stocking net swatch, 10-inch by 10-inch square. So it is getting kind of late. I have been working all day stitching various swatches. So I am going to go to bed and pick up tomorrow where I left off. So tomorrow is going to be the knitting of the garter stitch 10 by 10 swatch, and then I'm also going to be showing you how I am weighing and figuring out how many yards each swatch has. Back with day 2 of 10 by 10 swatches. I am back to do the garter stitch swatch and then we'll get to measuring. have my 10 by 10 garter stitch swatch done. So here are my 5 swatches all done. But Barbie, how do we know how many yards it took to make each swatch? Let me tell you. So according to the Impeccable Yarn, it has 285 yards per skein, and the skein weighs 4.5 ounces. Now, to figure out how many yards per ounce, you're going to take the length, the amount of yards, divided by the 4.5, the ounces. So therefore, it'll get you about 63.3 yards per ounce. So from there, we're going to weigh our swatches and do the math and figure out how many yards per swatch each took. Now is a good time to say that if you like this content, please like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you have any other ideas or questions that you have about different yarny stuff or any kind of crafty stuff for that matter, for the majority of everything, comment below. And the results are in. So coming in at the least yarn hungry is the knit stocking net stitch. This took up 0.9 ounces to do a 10 by 10 square using the size 8 knitting needles. And so that gets us at the grand total of 56.97 yards. So nearly 97 or 57 yards of yarn to make the stocking net stitch. The second most yarn hungry that we have is the double crochet. Double crochet took up 1.1 ounces of yarn using the size 8 crochet hook for a 10 by 10 square, and this was 69.63 yards to make this swatch. So coming in as the second and third most yarn hungry swatches, it's a tie between the garter stitch knit and the Tunisian crochet swatch. These both took 1.3 ounces of yarn, which gets us the total of needing 82.29 yards in order to make these up. Also using the size 8 5mm in the respective hook or needle. And the winner of the most hungry yarn fiber arts, most hungry stitch is the single crochet stitch. And for this 10 by 10 swatch, it took 1.4 ounces of yarn, and for a grand total of needing 88.62 yards in order to finish this in the 5mm crochet hook. Kind of surprising to me. I kind of figured that crochet was going to be the more hungry of the fiber arts. I just did not expect the garter stitch for knit to be so, and the Tunisian crochet to be so like the same. So that being said, I hope you enjoyed this. I sure did, and I'm very, very interested. It's not that much of a difference between the garter and the crochet, the garter knit and the crochets. The stocking knit, I kind of figured was going to be the less, but I didn't think it was going to be that far difference than the garter. I knew there was going to be a difference, but looking into it and counting stitches and rows, the garter stitch did take an extra 2 rows to create an inch of fabric when compared to the stocking knit. So that, I guess it shouldn't surprise me as much as I thought, was thinking. But, so yes. I hope you liked this, and if you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to comment if you have any ideas as far as questions that you would like to have answered when it comes to fiber arts. I also do paper crafting and vinyl work and all that jazz. So if you have any ideas of other topics to deal with, have a good one.